Hi everyone, sorry I haven't managed to film over the last week or so, my camera broke, but I do have a new one now, so I'm going to try and film as many videos this week as possible for you so I can try and catch up. Today I wanted to tell you about the books I want to reread in 2016. I think I wanted to make it kind of a thing this year that I did want to reread some of the books I haven't read in a while, so I thought it would be a great opportunity to share them with you in a video. I have put each one of these rereads in my little Tinkerbell cup here. So I've got lots of little pieces of paper in the Tinkerbell cup and I'm going to be picking out a piece of paper from the cup each month. Apart from January, obviously January has already been, but I did reread Fangirl in that month as well, which I'll explain more in my wrap up. So the first book I decided I wanted to reread in 2016 was The Stuff of Nightmares by Malorie Blackman. I loved Malorie Blackman a few years ago and I read quite a few of her books, and I really just wanted to go back into her writing and her stories and the characters and things because I haven't read them in a good few years. I remember really enjoying this book when I first read it. This one is about a boy who is in a train crash on a school trip. So all of these students have been in a train crash. He seems to be the only one that has survived it, and he realises that he's not the only one who has nightmares and fears, and death kind of stalks the train carriages. It's all a little bit creepy, a little bit weird, but I love stories like that. I love stories that intrigue you in a really strange way. So I'm super excited to get into this book again this year at some point, hopefully. The second book is also a Malorie Blackman book, and that is Pig Heart Boy. I remember reading this a good few years ago and I just thought it was a fantastic story. I really thoroughly enjoyed it and I cannot wait to get back into it. This is about a boy called Cameron who has to have a heart transplant, but things are looking a bit bad because they can't find a heart for him until eventually the doctor comes in and says they have found a match. Clues in the name of the book. The heart is not from a human though, it is from a pig, and he basically becomes the first ever Pig Heart Boy, and that's pretty much all it's about. And it was just a brilliant story the first time I read it. I don't remember absolutely everything about it because it has been a while since I've read it, but I definitely wanted to get back into reading this one this year. The third book I want to reread is from an author I read a couple of books from last year, but I haven't read this book since I think I was in sixth form, so a good 4 or 5 years ago, and that is Shelter by Harlan Coben. I remember being about 20 minutes late for a media lesson because I was too intrigued in this book, so I'd come home in one of my frees, read some of it, and didn't get back to media until 20 minutes after it already started. From that, I think it says it's a good book and I enjoyed it the first time round. I really don't remember too much about it. All I know, it's about a guy called Mikey Boliter, I think he's called. Yeah, or Mickey Boliter, I'm not sure. And his father is dead. As well as that, he has also had to put his mother into rehab, and his girlfriend has also randomly disappeared. He then comes across an old lady who he thinks has the answers to what he needs to find his girlfriend and things like that. I remember there was some quite gruesome scenes in this. I think that was one of the scenes that made me late for media actually, which is a bit weird, but it did get really intense and I'm super excited to get back into this story this year. The next book I've decided to reread in 2016 is The Magical Worlds of Harry Potter, A Treasury of Myths, Legends and Fascinating Facts by David Colbert. This is just basically about all the different things about Harry Potter, so the creatures, the worlds, the characters, the events that happen, that kind of thing, and it just goes a bit more in depth about where these have come from and how they work together in the world. I really don't remember much else about this from the first time I read it, but I am really excited to get back into it and I love Harry Potter, so why not get back into it now? And the next book is A Company of Swans by Eva Ibbotson. I think that's how you pronounce the second name, I'm not sure. This is about a girl who wants to become a professional ballerina, but her family, especially her father, doesn't like it. But when a Russian ballet master comes to where she is, she decides to run away and work in this company, this ballet company. But then her father finds her eventually. Can't really remember what happens after that at all, because it has been such a long time since I've read this book, but I'm really looking forward to reading it again. I love dance, I'm a dancer myself, and I haven't read any dance books in quite a while, so it'll be nice to get back into that kind of storyline. Carrying on with the dance side of things, the next book I want to reread is Ballet Shoes by Noel Streatfeild. I read Ballet Shoes quite a long time ago. I've also seen the film and I love that too, but I just wanted to reread it because why not? It has been one of my favourite books and I just want to reread it. This is about three sisters who are called Pauline, Petrova and Posy, and they are completely different people. So Pauline wants to be an actress, Petrova likes just playing with cars and engines and things, she's a bit of a tomboy, and Posy just wants to dance all the time. And we'll follow these sisters and how this kind of works as a unit, but then they also have trouble because of it. Also, their great uncle Matthew disappears, and then that becomes an issue obviously for the family. They need to find out what's happened there. It's just a cute story, it's quite a quick read, so it'll be great to get into this one again this year. And another Noel Streatfeild book I want to read is Dancing Shoes. This is about sisters Hilary and Rachel, I think they're called, yeah, and their mother dies and they have to go and live with their aunt who runs a dancing school, like a dancing girls troupe kind of thing. And Hilary loves dancing and she settles in straight away, not a problem, but Rachel finds it quite hard to settle in. She also has this problem about one of her mother's dying wishes was for Hilary to go to the Royal Ballet School, but Hilary has other ideas and Rachel has to kind of deal with this. I don't remember this story as much as Ballet Shoes, so I'm intrigued to find out more about this one when I read it again, because I've completely forgot, to be honest, about this one. But it should be fun, again a nice quick read, and yeah, I'm just excited to read it really, that's why it's on my rereads list this year. The next book I want to reread is Broken Soup by Jenny Valentine. I literally remember nothing about this story whatsoever, so I'm just going to read you the synopsis. It sounds quite good actually, the synopsis anyway, and it does intrigue you, so I'm just going to read that to you now. And it says, "It wasn't mine, I didn't drop it, but the boy said I did. He stood there with this I know I'm right look on his face. I was laughing about it on the outside, feeling like an idiot on the quiet. I had no idea something important had happened." That is all I know, I just know the synopsis, I really cannot remember what happened, so it'll be interesting to reread this one this year and see how I feel about it. The next book is a classic children's story, it is fantastic, and it is Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. This is about a girl called Fern who makes friends with a pig called Wilbur who lives on a farm, and Charlotte the spider has to save Wilbur from his fate. He lives on a farm. Yeah, that fate. And obviously Fern and Charlotte try to save Wilbur, but Wilbur doesn't really understand why and what's going on and things. He's not really clicked, he's not too clever about what's going on, and it's just super cute. I am really excited to read this one because I just love Charlotte's Web. I love the film as well, the film's fantastic, so if you've not seen the film or read the book, I definitely recommend this. The next book is The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and this is by John Boyne, and this is about a boy called Bruno, I think he's called, a boy called Bruno, and he is he's living in the wartime kind of thing, and he meets a boy behind some bars basically. It doesn't show on this cover, but on the film cover it does, and this boy is in what looks like pyjamas, striped pyjamas, but they're not actually striped pyjamas, obviously they are kind of a uniform sort of thing for the people that are getting kept behind these bars. It's about the war, it's not very nice, it's not a happy story, but the characters are fantastic and I am really looking forward to rereading this. This copy is a bit battered because a lot of people have borrowed this book, so it's a bit ruined, but it's still readable, so I'm going to reread it this year. The final book I want to reread this year is a book I read in, it might have even been primary school. If it wasn't primary school, it was early middle school. It was years and years and years ago since I've read this book, but I want to reread it, see what I think about it. I don't really remember it too much because it was such a long time ago. And that book is Kelp by Linda Aronson. I think that's how you say her name, not sure. And this is about a 14-year-old girl called Emily, and she wants to be the youngest self-made multimillionaire. But she is stuck on this island with her family's seaweed factory. She's not interested in anything like that, and she thinks her only hope of becoming a multimillionaire is by finding a guy who has lots of money, a good job, nice looking guy, has everything basically, but obviously she has not found this guy yet. Sounds a bit strange because she is only 14. 14 is quite young. But I'm intrigued to read it again. I can't remember much about it, but we'll just see how it is. And that is it for my rereads of 2016. I hope you've enjoyed it. I will obviously be picking out of the cup every time I do a TBR, so look forward to that. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well. And I will see you in my next video very soon. Bye!